Good evening, good morning, good night, good day. It's your boy Retro. Thank you for pressing play.
Come on, somebody lift up a shout to the Lord.
So you're a philosopher? Yes, 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 yes. I think very deeply.
I need just a little more Jesus.
Sheldon, Sheldon, start up the mic then. Start up the mic them now. Sheldon, start up the mic then. We are gonna crank up the mic them now.
So you're a philosopher? Yes, 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 yes. I think very deeply. Yes, 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 yes. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. Yes, yes. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
Yes, indeed. You already know what it is. It's your boy Retro with you on today. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and I will be glad in it. Yes, indeed. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's having a great day. As you already know, we've got a show lined up for you today. Normally on Mondays, we would do our interviews, but because of how do I say this? Because of current headline or whatever, we decided to go a different route. I believe that this is something that we should go ahead and discuss on tonight. So that's what we're going to be doing on today. So I do apologize just in case you were expecting an interview. We will pick up next Monday with the live interview. But tonight, if you have not already seen it, let me see here. If you have not already seen it, then we're going to show you on tonight. We're going to show you on tonight. So just kick back and chill with us. Telephone number is scrolling at the top of the screen, 980-222-4492. All right. Now, look at here. Let me just say this. I don't think that I need to say this, but I'm going to say this for those who are sitting in the back, okay? For those who press the speaker button, not the play button, okay? I'm going to say this so that way we can just get this out in the air and everybody can understand, and we know that we're all on the same page, all right? Now, the Retro Philosophy Show is in no shape, form, fashion, means, intentions, or anything of the like for ridiculing, pulling down, destroying, hurting. We just don't get down like that. We just don't get down like that. That's not the way we do things. So tonight's show, we will be discussing the preacher, the bishop out of New York City, who has he was robbed gunpoint on Sunday while he was literally preaching, and so we're going to talk about that on tonight. As you come in the room, just say what's up to your boy so we can holler back at you and show some love. The telephone number is scrolling at the top of the screen right there, 980-222 4492. If you have an opinion, questions, or comments, we welcome you to call in on tonight and voice your opinions. So without any further ado, let us go ahead and get right on into it. I got a few clips that I want to share with you on tonight. So keep it locked and don't you dare touch that dial. India, how you doing, girl? Thank you for pressing play.
And I want you guys to share this message because I'm about to announce a reward for the capture of the men that came into my church to rob me in the middle of service. All right, so I want y'all to tune in and let everybody know. Y'all share.
All right, so he wants us to share. Okay, so I'm gonna say the same thing: share. Now I'm trying to get a few things set up here because we're gonna jump into it on tonight. Let me see, where am I at here? Okay. All right, so we're gonna jump into it tonight. Okay, go ahead and hit that share button. We got some folks tuning in on tonight already. So we want to say what's up to everybody, including Lani Dottie. What's up to Shaquan McKeever? That's my son there. I call him Mr. CEO. We got India in the building. She said, good evening and God bless. We got Manny in the building as well, all the way from the West Coast. Thank you for checking in and pressing play. Oh, gosh. I want you guys to keep my family in prayer down in the West Coast. JJ, his lovely wife, they are experiencing a difficult moment now in terms of the loss of a loved one. So let us keep United in Him Motorcycle Ministry in our prayers as they navigate through difficult times. We got Creations by TYS in the building. All right, so without any further ado, let me see if I can get this set up real quick here. So you already see what happened. He's offering a $50,000, not a $50, not a $500, but a $50,000 reward. Okay. So let me go ahead and play the rest of the clip so we can, because if you haven't heard, I want to kind of give you a good understanding as to what's going on from the horse's mouth himself. Okay, this is not something that I've just conjured up, but this is something that he has posted himself. And so I'm going to go ahead and play the clip for you.
A Brooklyn bishop was robbed at gunpoint in the middle of his Sunday sermon today, and it was all caught on camera. The service was being live streamed this morning when he says 3 to 4 men walked in with guns. He spoke at length with CBS 2's Lisa Rosner about why he believes he was targeted and his message for the suspects.
5 to 10 minutes into preaching Sunday morning on Remsen Avenue in Canarsie, Bishop Lamore Whitehead saw the door in the back of the room kick open.
How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die what you about to go through? Yo, all right. I seen 3 to 4 men come in. I said, all right. It's pretty much stating that I'm not going to do anything, right? Because I know y'all coming for me. Y'all coming straight to me. I don't want my parishioners hurt, right? I got women and children there. As I got down, one went to my wife and took all her jewelry and had the gun in front of my 8-month-old baby's face. Took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop's chain, and then I had chains underneath my robe. He started tapping my neck to see if anything else. So that means they knew. They watched and they knew that I have other jewelry.
The church's live stream shows the gun being held on the pastor.
They had the guns on my deacons that was at the door.
Whitehead says what you don't see on camera are around 100 congregants who were in the room. Men, women, and children dropped to the floor in silence.
My church is traumatized. The women and children are still crying. Still crying. Babies are still crying.
Police say the men took off in a white Mercedes. Whitehead says cops have a license plate and witnesses saw the men change clothes outside.
These men, they need to turn themselves in. I forgive you, and I'm praying for you. You know, and I hope that God deliver you from the mindset of who you are at this time.
Whitehead believes his family was targeted because of the publicity he received when he helped turn in the suspect wanted in the fatal subway shooting of 48-year-old Daniel Enriquez in May.
I turned them in, but the media called me the bling bling bishop. They had my Rolls Royce car all over everywhere, and I feel that played the part in this. I think all pastors should be able to get permits for pistols.
The NYPD is investigating, and Whitehead says the mayor and top police brass have called him, pledging support to find the suspects. Fortunately, no one was hurt. In Canarsie, Brooklyn, Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
In a statement, a spokesperson for Mayor Adams said, quote, no one in this city should be the victim of an armed robbery, let alone our faith leaders and congregants worshiping
And so,
in a house
folks,
of God.
what do you
The
think
NYPD
about
is
that?
investigating
I
this
mean,
crime
it's
and
just
will work
it's straight out of the
tirelessly
headlines, if you ask me,
involved
and
to justice.
it's really man, it's sad. It's sad. But, you know, he said something. I want to point something out, okay, because this is serious business, number one, okay? We're going to get into a few things in terms of how I feel about some things and what I, you know, my speculation and stuff like that. First thing he did was he got down. He saw what was going on. What we got going on? We got double cameras going on here. Hold on one second. Boom. Okay. And so he sees what's going on. He's standing up there at the pulpit, right? And all of a sudden, you know, he sees, let's see, who was the guy sitting? Okay, we're going to talk about that in a moment, okay? We're going to talk about that here in just a moment, because I believe that right there is a major key, and I'm glad somebody paid attention to that. What's going on, Kodak? Thanks for pressing play, man, being a part of the Retro Philosophy Show. It's getting crazy out here, man. It's getting real crazy out here. So here's what he does. He's facing the door. And I understand that, because a lot of times when I'm preaching the way, not so much now, but our previous setup, it's serious business. It's serious business. It is indeed, baby. And so, you know, a lot of people are saying it was a setup. Some people are saying it's staged. I don't think it was staged per se. Now a setup, now that's another argument right there. And we'll get into that in a moment. So when I'm preaching, okay, I can see the door, and before the renovations that we just done, the podium was direct. When I'm standing in the pulpit, I'm facing the back door, so I can see people coming up the walkway before the usher even knows anybody's getting ready to approach the door. Usually, I can see. And so this is his vantage point. He's able to see before anybody else sees what's going on. And so when he catches what's going on, he immediately says, all right, you know, so he gets down. Okay. Now he made a statement at the end of the clip that they just played, saying that he thinks all preachers should be able to carry the guns, should be able to carry guns. David said, seems like that may have been personal. I would agree with you on that. I would agree to say that it was more personal, because now who saw what was it, First Sunday or something like that, with Mike Epps and Cat Williams, and it was a situation similar like that, right? They robbed the church or something like that. But they robbed everybody. Everybody's pockets was ran up in the church on that in the movie, right? And so if these guys were just coming for an easy mark, then, you know, they would have, in my opinion, they would have ran everybody's pockets, you know. In a later clip, Bishop Whitehead says they didn't even take up offering. So they hadn't even got to the offering part yet. You see what I'm saying? So these gentlemen, these guys who came in there, in my opinion, if they were just out to do a quick robbery, they would have more than likely, you know, been telling everybody to run their pockets. But they went straight to the preacher and straight to the preacher's wife. Now, there was a video, a picture. Actually, it was a video of him and Tretch. I don't know if you guys remember Tretch from Naughty by Nature. And they was bigging each other up. Apparently, they're pretty close and everything. And according to his own testimony, Bishop Whitehead, that is, he still has close ties with a lot of gang members, rappers, and people that's out there in them streets, if you understand what I'm saying, right? But the brother, I mean, he was all decked out, man. He had this big old chain, diamond out and everything, and so that was the chain that he had underneath his robe. So when they came in, he had his bishop's chain on, right? And let's see here. So he had on his bishop's chain, and of course they took his wedding band, and they took his bishop ring, which is a pretty nice one too. It was real nice, and And so they got that. They ran it, and then it went straight to his wife. And so I agree on David Eady. I believe it was something that was probably more personal. Now, just before going live, I got a text, and they said, "Is it okay if I call you?" Yeah, sure. So the phone rings, I answer, and they went on to explain to me, look, man, I don't know him personally, but my man knows him real good. And he began to explain some stuff to me and everything like that. And so, we've got to be real careful how we get down out here in these streets, man, from everybody. And so apparently there's some stuff that's going on that we may not know about. Now, again, this is not a show with the intention to bash this guy, but it is obvious that these situations are beginning to become more and more common. What are we as church folk? What are we doing? What are we doing to be prepared? What are we doing? Because, a couple years ago down in South Carolina, young white kid goes into a church, sits down and sits through the whole Bible study. And then he proceeds to take his gun and kill, 9 folk up in there? I mean, he just went on a killing spree. And, the Bible says, watch and pray, and so I don't think we should ever be so deep in the spirit that we are not able to also watch. Quick story. Years ago at our home church, we would have what we called a solemn assembly. Okay. And that was pretty much prayer around the clock. It would be done in shifts. And normally you would get a 2-hour shift. I think it was 2-hour shifts we would take. And so those 2-hour shifts would go throughout the night. And I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, we did it for about a week straight, maybe 2 weeks. I think it was a week straight. Okay, so for a whole week, the church would be open, and people would be in the church on 2-hour shifts. And so, of course, by the time, you get down to the nighttime, pastor would always say, y'all make sure y'all lock the doors, and so what would happen is, we would get there for our shift, and usually the door would stay open for a few minutes to give the stragglers a chance to get there. And then someone was responsible for locking the door, or was at least admonished to lock the door. One particular night, somebody comes in there, and he wasn't looking for prayer. He was, looking for some trouble, and so it was kind of dicey. Nothing happened, but guess what? The very next night, those doors were locked, And so what's my point? My point is, even though we were there to pray, and I wasn't there on that particular shift that night. However, even though we go to church to pray, we go to church to serve God, we cannot be unaware of what people's potential intentions might be. I'm just saying, when we get saved, we don't get amnesia, and we don't get stupid. I mean to tell you, man, if you had street smarts before you got saved, there are some things that you should just not be naive to. I'm not saying that this brother was naive, but however, we are naive if we think we can do certain things and it not catch up with us. I'll just put it that way. The church needs to be on guard and make sure we are not sleep spiritual nor naturally. I agree. We've got to be on guard. Now, the thing that we need to understand is God does give us a thing called discernment. Yeah, he gives us a thing called discernment, and we have to learn to utilize it and to walk in it and to and to listen to it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes something to tell you something just ain't right. Yeah. And so at our church, we've talked about different things, different scenarios, and we got different people throughout the church. Look here, a good number of the members of Upper Praise. Yeah, they carry. Yeah, a good number. I'd say over 50%. Over 50%. Now, with that said and done, okay, let me commend Bishop Whitehead. Well, I guess they didn't have any guns anyway, but now imagine he did. I was saying it was a good thing that he didn't, because here's the deal. If somebody comes to your church, right, and they come in there, and in this case, as we were saying, I would be led to believe it was more personal than random. But they did not fire the guns. They just had them for, reinforcement or whatever, to show how serious they were. But it was jewelry. It was what do you call it, material things, man. And if you are in church and someone comes in there and all they're doing is robbing you, taking your offering or whatever, I don't think it's worth what you say, Dave? Upper praise gonna send you to the upper room. It's gonna be a lot of slow singing. I'm just saying. You know, just make sure your calling and your election is sure. You know, but if they're coming for the intentions of robbing, I don't think it would have been worth it to open fire on someone for that. Because what's going to happen is it was about four. Okay, it was four of them. So that means there was at least five, because there were four in the building, and you already know they had to have a getaway driver. Okay, I'm just saying, you're not going to go do something like that and not have somebody in the car ready just in case it get hot in there and you got to zoom out. You know, you understand what I'm saying? So we know, it was at least five of them. Okay, and then you throw another one in terms of who put them on. So it's at least 6-7 folk involved in this whole plot. Okay. Now with that said and done, let me check something out real quick here. Bada boom, bada bang.
These men, they need to turn themselves in. I forgive you.
Watch this guy right here.
You know, and I hope that God deliver you from the mindset of who you are at this time.
This dude never once moved. Now, this is just a still shot right here. This is just a still shot. But in the video, that expression that he has on his face never changed. He never moved. I don't know if anybody else noticed it. I think Tish pointed it out earlier about him because he was just sitting there, man. The dude never moves. Watch him. Watch him.
These men, they need to turn themselves in. I forgive you, and I'm praying for you. You know, and
now this is the video right here. Let me back this thing up.
These men, they need
Look
to
at him.
turn themselves in. I forgive you, and I'm praying for you. You
He
know, and
never
I hope that God
once.
deliver you from the
He looked like a
mindset of who
statue.
you are at this time.
Dude, somebody help me. Somebody help me make sense of this, please. I need somebody to help me make sense of this, because the brother never moved, Shanshika. I mean, he just sitting there. He's just sitting there. He bothers me too, because I promise you, that's suspect right there. That's suspect right there. So he real. I mean, for real. And exactly, how are you that unmoved and they robbing your bishop? That's not common. I'm just saying. Even, I mean, okay, they it's for them. They got guns, but you're gonna at least move. I mean, even if it's out of fear for your own life, you're gonna cower. You're gonna shift. You're gonna do something. That brother never moved. He didn't seem worried. He seemed more bored than anything. No, baby. Now I love you, honey girl, but no, that brother was not in shock. He was not in shock. He was just hoping that they don't find out that he was the one that set his bishop up. I'm just saying that was not shock. He was not in shock. None, no shape, form, nor fashion. First thing I peeped. I'm with you too on that one, sis. Yeah, he knew. Yeah, he got the Bible open and everything. Somebody get him a name tag that say Judas. Come on now, get him a name tag that says Judas. Tish says, no, I don't think it was shock. No, it wasn't shock. It wasn't shock. Now, I don't know if you guys picked up, but he said that when they took his bishop chain and his bishop ring, let me see if I can pull it up real quick here. Let's see. Where is it at? I got it in the background, so. I got this new setup here, guys, and I'm working through it and everything. It's been fun, but I still haven't gotten everything. Let's see. All right, it's not going to come up like I want it to. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, well. But nevertheless, you know what? I can do this. Where's it at? But nevertheless, man, the dude was not moved. The mannequin challenge. There you go. Mannequin challenge. He just didn't move, man. and that just doesn't set well with me. Now, I'm not on here to make fun of this brother, man, because I was, as a matter of fact, I was listening to his video, and take a listen at this. Let me know what you think.
Born this way, y'all. I was born without jewelry.
Look at that ring on his finger right
Jewelry
there.
don't make me.
It's nice.
Right? You took all my wife's jewelry. That don't make her. Right? So, I'm here to let y'all know that we, Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries, we are a thriving ministry. Right? We're a thriving ministry. And I have to look forward for this to happen because we're doing a world baptism where if you want to be baptized in the name of Jesus,
okay, you got that
all
part
you got to
right.
do is come to Coney Island Beach August 13th.
August 13th.
From 8 to 4. And I've been promoting it. So the devil is mad. You know how many people are going to come out and get saved and be baptized?
So the brother, man.
You know how many people are going to be saved? Y'all meet me at the beach, y'all. Meet me at the beach August the 13th. I'm going to be there from 8 to 4. Even the men that robbed me, come on out and let me baptize you. I promise you I'll baptize you in the name of Jesus.
Come on now.
Right? Because I understand the attack of the enemy. Right? So everybody that's watching me right now, download my church app.
Okay, here we go.
Or your Google Play or your Apple Store and put in Leaders of Tomorrow Ministries. Download the app and you'll be able to get all the information. Because I'm doing a lot of things out here in the community, and I'm doing stuff out here. I'm not just sitting behind the four walls. But let's build this ministry because at the end of the day, I'm here. And obviously God has me here for a purpose.
So my man says jewelry don't make me. And I feel him on that. That's what's up. That's it is what it is, and I don't know. He don't seem to be too moved by, the loss of the jewelry. I kind of thought at one point, I said, well, maybe this is an insurance scam. I mean, who knows? People do all kind of crazy stuff, man. I was reading an article about him and how he owed, hundreds of thousands of dollars for a lawsuit that was against him. And so let's see here. Okay, so David says, I'm saying it depends on, let me see here. I'm saying it depends on his background. If he has never experienced a situation like that before, he could have been in shock. No, I can't rock with that at all. None whatsoever. Because he never moved. Shock, when you're in shock, there's an initial response and then you go to shock. And then you freeze. Because it's so much for you to process that it freezes you. You can't process it, But this brother never once shook, shaked, baked, laked, caked, raked. He never did anything. And so I can't, as much as I would like to, I can't give him that. I can't give him that. Let's see. It didn't make them, but he sure made sure he had a lot of it beforehand. Okay, let me see. It didn't. Oh, okay, yeah, it didn't make them, but he sure made sure. Okay, yeah, and a lot of it he did. A lot of it he did, man. My man is driving a Rolls Royce. I think he said in one of the clips. And I have nothing against a preacher, a teacher, a lawyer, or anybody for that matter. That has a come up, but that come up shouldn't be on somebody's back. It shouldn't be, it shouldn't be through schemes and things of that nature. And if I'm not mistaken, I know he did spend some time in the penitentiary and it had something to do with, with theft and stuff of that nature. And one of the lawsuits that he had against him was because of some kind of a mortgage fraud, from what I could gather. And again, that's not to judge the man. And that still doesn't give. So we got a couple things working simultaneously here. We have his potential bad choices, bad deeds, or whatever. But then we have the deeds of these brothers that came in here and robbed them. And regardless of what he did, I was saying to my wife, man, even if he's done some grimy stuff in the streets, right? Then handle that in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that it was right to do that, to do what they did. the way they did, and certainly where they did what they did. You understand what I'm saying? And so if you can justify them coming into his church for whatever reason, then where do they stop? Where do they stop? There's got to be a separation. I remember years ago, man, we would turn the music down when we go by the church, you know, and so there is room for discussion there in terms of why there's no more respect to the church. Hold on, wait a minute. I done missed some comments here. Let me back up here. This kind of remind me of Malcolm X. Yeah, that part right there. Now I know I just seen that comment. Where'd it go? Okay, so Schofield said, at first I thought he was a picture. Okay, or on a different screen. Okay, no, that Joker, exactly. He was that still. And that right there is really unbelievable. Okay, so he said, Sister Nikki, you are right. He definitely knew the setup. So the brother, the pastor, Bishop Whitehead, he said it a couple times, you know, they came for me. When they came in, he knew they were coming for him. You know, before they even got to him, before they even said anything, once he saw the jig was up, he knew exactly that he knew they were coming for him, for him. That he knew they were coming for him. And that's let's see here. Somebody said, okay, here we go. This is it right here. But he was on Instagram. Yeah. Now, come on now. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. So you're telling me that he was on Instagram, him was on there yelling and cussing? Now, I was commending the brother as I was watching the video because, dude, I've been in some situations where, you know, you got to do the best you can not to let your anger get the best of you. And if I was in this situation, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, it would probably be difficult for me to keep my cool. And as I was watching the full clip, it was about an hour-long clip. And as I was watching it, you know, there were moments where he was getting ready to lose it, but he strategically and intentionally, you know, kept bringing himself back down to a calm state, if you will. And so, but he was on Instagram yelling and cussing. Now, I do know that and I hate to call his name, but it is what it is. Larry Reed was coming for him and some of the comments and everything. So I don't know if he was yelling and cussing in response to that, because there are some people that really know how to push your buttons. And when you're doing the best you can to remain calm, you got to be careful, because there are some people that really know how to just do it in a way where, you know, they're not going to stop until they get you to lose your cool. Let's see here. I'm saying it depends on his background. Okay, we got that one already. So what do you guys think about preachers? Because Ariel says it didn't make them, but he sure made sure he had a lot of it beforehand, and reference to the jewelry and everything. And so I'm sure there are some people who may feel a certain way about preachers, clergy, men of God, men of the cloth, or whatever. And the Bible talks about modesty and everything. But look at here, man. I ain't got that kind of money, so I ain't gonna sit here in front. But if I had big bucks like that, I ain't gonna front, man. I might buy me a nice little Jesus piece. You know, I mean, it is what it is, you know. So I'm not against my man, you know, being decked out and stuff like that. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Now, I do have a problem with pastors living way above their congregation. And what I mean by that, if I've got thousands of dollars, you know, millions of dollars, I got all this money in surplus and overflow, but my congregation is struggling, I think I could probably invest in the people instead of that Bentley or that $400,000, you know, couple pieces of jewelry or whatever, because we do have to understand that when it comes to leading God's people and being a shepherd of the flock of God, we've got to minister to the total man. It's not all about the spiritual side of things, you know. And so Bishop Lewis once gave me a piece of sound advice. He said, Brother Sheldon, invest in people, not brick and mortar. Ooh, I mean to tell you, that was some good advice right there. Thank you, Bishop Lewis. And so that's sound advice. And so now, and again, just to recap, I do have a problem with preachers who live way above their congregation. You eating filet mignon and they can't even get nothing off the dollar menu. And again, you can't control someone's spending habits and lifestyle and so on and so forth. But by golly, you ought to be able to make a impact in such a way that they come up a little bit higher. I'm just saying. Let's see here. I want to get back to some of these comments here. Gang would have been waiting for them outside the baptismal pool. There you go. That part right there. I'm saying, man, we gotta be careful. As a man, I know that it's hard, not just because he's a pastor. Men are protectors. So to see this happen to his wife and children, I'm not surprised if he flipped a bit. I mean, you know, I can rock with that, Shinshika, because you make a very valid point. And in the entire clip, the video there, that's exactly what he was saying. And he was not so much mad at the fact that his jewelry was taken, but he began to get choked up a little bit as he was describing the women's reaction and stuff like that. He was like, you know, men, they good. The men gonna be men. They're gonna do what they got to do. But it was the women that were so broken up and you know, shaken by the events that's where he, you know, began to, you know, almost lose it in terms of letting his emotions really flow. And again, I don't know this guy, and so I'm not praising him by any means, and I'm also not condemning him either, because, you know, everybody's got to meet the maker. You know what I mean? And as they say, what's done in the dark will come to the light sooner or later. And so we've got to be very careful as we go about our lives. Yes, Tish, the brothers just seemed extremely unbothered. And yeah, it is a shame that all of this is happening in church, to say the least, regardless of what his and I think somebody may have said something about this earlier. The brother does have a past, but guess what? I do too. But for the grace of God, you know, we all have a past, and you will hear me say this from time to time. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future, you know. And so we all got a past. You know, we all did something that we ain't proud of and don't want, you know, to be, you know, out there. But if it does get out there, guess what? That's where I used to live. I don't live there no more, you know. And so I'm not one for jumping on the bandwagon as it relates to holding people back and down because of what they used to do and where they used to go and all that kind of stuff. Fear can make you freeze, but fear first makes you move, then freeze. Now, if you are startled, if you are scared, you're going to jump. There's going to be a reaction before the freeze. It's just like the fainting goats, right? They get scared, they faint. That's I guess that's their safety mechanism or whatever. But before they fall out, they first, and then they fall out, you know. So he had none of that. He had absolutely none of that. One more time.
These men, they need to turn themselves in.
Look at him.
I forgive you, and I'm praying for you.
You would swear up and down that was a still shot.
God deliver you.
I need to know who this guy is. I need to know if anybody can find out that brother's name. Please let me know. I want to talk to bro, man. I want to talk to Brother Statue. I just do. I want to talk to him. I just got a few questions I'd like to ask him. You know, praise the name of the Lord, you know, and yeah, so yeah, just a few. Yes, sir, Ariel, the jury, that's what I figured you were talking about. Oh, identity theft. You're right, Tish. You're right. It was identity theft. That is correct. It was identity theft. But a lot of times identity theft is tied up with mortgage fraud and all that kind of stuff as well. And even the credit cleaning and all that stuff. Because, you know, I know a few cats out of New York, man. That's they hustle. You know, that they claim they're cleaning up your credit and everything, and they do all kind of grimy stuff. One of them deals where you don't ask no questions and they won't tell you no lie kind of thing. And but here's the deal, folks. If it sounds too good to be true, then there's a good chance it probably is. We got Rose Ann in the building on tonight. Let's give it up for Rose Ann pressing play. I thought it was staged because they told everyone to get down, but the other man in the pulpit was sitting in the chair with his Bible in his hand, and he didn't move. He was just watching as if it was part of the sermon. It confused me. It confused me as well. I promise you, I thought that the footage was freezing. I thought it was doing some kind of funny stuff, but no, that brother was sitting there. So what we missed was prior to them coming in, he did this number, because y'all know that makes you invisible in church. So he put that finger up, and so he was actually invisible. The only reason why we see it because we sanctified, and so that's the only reason why we see him. But the robbers, they couldn't see him because he put that sanctified finger up. You know, when they tiptoe out the sanctuary, and so that's why he was calm, cool, and collected, because they couldn't see him. Only see, yeah. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. I bet you. I'll bet Tanisha's paycheck that's what it was. Yeah, I would say that too, Tish. I would say I was wrongfully imprisoned too. You know, tomato. You know what I mean? And so, and again, I don't know. There could have been some shady stuff surrounding it, but I would go out on a ledge that say he, even if it was wrongfully imprisoned. Well, I'll just leave that alone. I'll just leave it alone right there. He knew what was up. Now, India, which one are you referring to? The bishop or the mannequin up in the pulpit? Yeah, Larry Reed interview. Yeah, he was. Oh, okay. I don't really mess with too much Larry Reed because he's just so messy. You know what I mean? Intentionally messy. And but for the sake of getting the backdrop on this story, I may have to go over there and click play and see what's going on. I've got to be very careful because some stuff I don't want to be drawn into and some stuff I don't want to be associated with just because. Let's see here. Dave says freezing is often associated with traumatic experiences and can leave us paralyzed in fear. In such distressing situations, the physical impact of our stress hormones are magnified, causing intense negative emotions, including extreme shock, anxiety, panic, and terror. And he displayed none of that. I'm sorry, Dave, man. I feel you. I hear where you're coming from, but I just don't. I just can't see that with him. That just, man. My mother-in-law, she says, "Help, Jesus." Prayer changes everything. Yeah, it changes things, but this is a serious situation, man. And I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm just, but because there's definitely serious business, And folks, please be careful how you laugh today because it could be your church next week or next month or something like that. Because people are just plumb crazy. Okay, they just plumb crazy. We live in a lawless society, says India. I do that in front of his wife, kids, and congregation. No respect for the Lord's house, none whatsoever. Even if this brother is grimy, even if this brother is, got some questionable behavior or whatever, but still, you doing this in God's house. You understand what I'm saying? And I do know he said this in the video that he released. He quoted the scripture where it says, "Touch not mine anointed and do my he was putting the word on him, though. I give it to him. He was putting the word on him. He was showing up putting the word on him. But it sounds like this dude really knows some people. It sounds like he really knows some people. And I'm gonna put it out there like this. Don't be the one to push the Jesus boy over the edge. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You got to, and again, I can't vouch for this guy's character or anything, but what I am saying is you got some people who, as I said, they got saved, not amnesia. Okay, and so they're doing the best they can to live for the Lord. Leave them be. Let them stay there. Because if you push them out of place, it just, well, I'll keep it moving. But we live in a lawless society, and they have no respect for the house of God or anything. And the church must own a large portion of that responsibility. I'm just going to put that out there because we have laid ourselves way too carelessly. We have become way too common with situations and circumstances that we should not. The Bible says, "Come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord." The Bible tells us to put a difference between clean and unclean. And for the sake of evangelism, we say, well, I'm going to go to the strip club and because they need to hear the word of the Lord too. Okay, they do. They do need to hear the word of the Lord. But we must be very careful how we compromise who we are and where we are in our God. I'll just put that out there, and let's see here. So that's a very valid point. They point the guns and that's, man, listen. And he said that what he did was after they left, he said he ran after them. I guess he wanted to follow him or whatever, and but he said when he got outside, he didn't have his keys. So by the time he got his keys, he tried to follow them or whatever. So they were able to see them change clothes, get into a white Mercedes Benz, and drive off. So they got the license plate, and they, from the way he made it sound, they may even know the identity of at least one or two of the men. But that was extremely disrespectful, putting that gun in the face of that little baby. And again, I don't know if they did that as a scare tactic to, make them, submit or surrender. But yeah. Don't come to Upper Praise thinking you walking away. Oh, oh boy. And we're not ones to preach violence or anything like that, but we do believe in the right to protect. So let's see here. Okay, so Dave says you don't necessarily have to move first. We're gonna agree to disagree on that one. I mean to tell you, this guy, he didn't even not even a page on the Bible move. It didn't even flutter or anything. The brother just sat there. That's 4 guys and 4 guns, and oh yeah, they about to wrap up Bishop. Oh, okay. Oh my Lord, he wasn't no frozen. Let's see here. When we dabble in our past will turn into our present real fast. Wow, that's a profound statement, Brother Ariel. I like it. I agree with it. And when we dabble in our past will turn into our present real fast. That's deep right there. That's deep. And so here's the thing though. Here's the thing. Here's my take on this. Okay. Y'all bear with me. I'm gonna get to the he riding hard for him, Mario. He riding hard for him. We're gonna get Dave delivered after a while. We're gonna get him delivered. But so here's the thing. As Ariel stated, when you dabble in your past will become your future, your present real quick. And the thing about it is, most people who were about that life and are not about that life are still trying to live off the credibility of yesteryear, and that's a dangerous place to be. It's a very dangerous place to be. But the clip is already, they already broke in and made. But we don't see his initial. Okay, so when they came in though, David, you'll notice, I don't know if you'll notice or not, but when they came in, the bishop sees first, right?
A Brooklyn bishop was robbed at gunpoint in the middle of his Sunday sermon today, and it was all caught on camera. The service was being live streamed this morning when he says 3 to 4 men walked in with guns. He spoke at length with CBS 2's Lisa Rosner about why he believes he was targeted and his message for the suspects.
5 to 10 minutes into preaching Sunday morning on Remsen Avenue.
So 5 to 10 minutes or so, he literally just started.
Whitehead saw the door in the back of the room kick open.
How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die?
So do this off to the left now.
What you about to go
Okay,
through.
you hear the door come in. Bishop is looking. Okay.
Yo. All right. I seen 3 to 4 men come in. I said, all right. It's pretty much stating that. He started tapping my neck to see if anything else. So that means they knew. They watched and they knew.
They knew.
That I have other jury.
The church's live
They
stream
knew.
shows
Look at them
the
snatching
gun
it
being
off.
held on
So
the
they
pastor.
knew
They had the guns on the
that
on my
he
deacons that was at the door.
had the
Whitehead
chain
said
on
what
underneath
you don't
his
see on
thing.
camera are around
And
100 congregants
let me
who
see if
were
I
in
can
the room.
find that picture, because that chain is a doozer. It's nice. It's huge. And so they knew he had that joint on. They took the bishop's chain because it was hanging out there. But like you said, they slapped him on his neck to hear that thing go ching, 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 And so I don't know. He was off frame, so he could have jumped and shivered and everything, and then just went into his mannequin pose. But even still, that mannequin pose, man, it was just, look at him. Look at that look, though. Okay, even if he did jump initially, look at that look. The look says everything. That's what you get. That's a lot of hateration coming off of that chair right there. It be your own folk, man. I mean to tell you. Look at that look. Look here, man. I don't care what you say. Nah, that look right there. Nah. Let's see here. He went after them fools. Yeah, he went after him. He went after him. Okay, so the bishop he lost it on the show. So what was the deal with that? If you guys saw that, was he on the show, or was how did it go down? From what I understand, the bishop went live, and then Larry Reed came on his show. Was that what the case was? Did he come in the comments, or did he? Was it interview style? If you guys saw that, let me know. Yeah, Ariel, the strip club, man. Folk talking about they going down there to deliver cinnamon off the pole. And all that kind of stuff. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Let's see. David said, I just think the man was scared to death. Look at that look, though, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, give him the benefit of the doubt. That's cool. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. So we didn't see his initial reaction. You are correct. We did not see his initial reaction. Now. Whether or not he had an initial reaction is neither here nor there, but scared, one thing he was not is scared. He was not scared. That was not the look of a scared man. Now, come on now. Is that the look of a scared man? That's the look of a fed up man. He is tired of that bishop. He just like, I'm tired of this church. That's him right there. That's the look on that joker's face. Okay, and case in point, as I said, now you flossing in Dawson. And this man right here could be behind on his bills. His house could be going up for foreclosure. He might be out of work. Ain't no telling. And I heard somebody say, when you the Don, you got to make sure the dogs around you eat, because otherwise it's just a matter of time till they come for your food, And so for this guy to have that look on his face, I'm gonna go out on the left. I know I'm evil surmising, but y'all forgive me. I'm a repent as soon as I end the live. But I'll just put it this way: you got to be very careful how you floss when others around you are starving. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you don't deserve what you've got and everything. I'm not saying that, but sometimes you got to use wisdom. Sometimes you got to use wisdom. When I go certain places, some things I don't take, some things I don't do. It just is what it is, because one's perception is one's reality. You understand what I'm saying? And so you don't want to give them ammunition to hate you even the more. I'm just, and again, I don't know what the full details is with this situation, but let's see here. Yeah, that Bible just resting there, though. I mean to tell you, that Bible, I don't know. He must got some sticky tape on the backside of that thing, because it ain't going nowhere. Yeah, he got that hater look going on. I ain't gonna lie. I know I've seen that look one too many times. And that's the look of a hater right there. Yeah, it will. It's going to come to light. It's going to come to light. This joker got a $50K reward out for, as he says, the capture of these thugs. Now, yeah. He said the capture of these thugs. $50K. $50,000. Folks will kill you for a quarter, let alone $50K. And and so he said, look, he got his ears to the streets. He said they already know more than you think they know. And whether that's true or not, I don't know. And I ain't got no nickel in that quarter. But I mean, I'm saying I ain't got no reason not to believe him, And so, as I said, what's done in the dark will come to the light sooner or later. And so, Tish, you are absolutely right, Tanisha. It will come to the light. Big lady was laughing at him. Now, I ain't laughing at him. I mean, I was laughing, but I'm not laughing at him. Real talk, man, because I just don't play those kind of games, man. I just don't play those kind of games, man. People going through stuff and you gonna sit there and laugh at them. And what are you gonna do when the tables turn? That's why I don't get people that laugh at folks, you know. And I get it sometimes. Some situations have a little humor in it. And there's a difference between noting the humor and then laughing at the individual. You know what I'm saying? And so that ain't right, man. Bishop was live with some big lady was being rude to him. Now, how you know she was big? I mean, was she came on the live or just from her profile picture you were able to gather that she was big? You better be careful, Nikki. Them big girls come for you now. Don't be calling them girls big now. They're gonna be outside. You and Disney gonna be wrapped up. Oh gosh. About the mannequin man. What about the mannequin man, sis? Let's see. And one displays are different. Fear is like grief. Boy, I tell you, David going hard for him. He going hard for him, man. You're right, though. Fear is like grief, and everyone displays it differently. But I see I look here, man. I've seen fear on many levels, and there's no fear in that man's eyes. There's no fear in that man's eyes. Come on now. Somebody give India, somebody give it up for India. That's the look of a fed up man. That's what it is. Fear, no. That's the look of a fed up man. That dude right there, yeah, he fed up. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. You watch and see. It's gonna come out. It's sure enough gonna come out. Let's see here. Okay, so Larry was live on the Larry was live and the bishop called into his show because they were laughing at the bishop about the gun being in the. Oh man, that's just wrong, man. I mean, you know, it's one thing if they're gonna be, you know, that come on, man, not the kids, man. That just ain't right. It just ain't right. It's because he set it up. He want to preach, but the bishop not letting him. It's because he set it up. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so the mannequin man set it up because the bishop won't let him preach. Okay, that part. Hey, look at here, man. You know, folks will sell you out for 30 pieces of silver, you know. So I'm saying, you know, he had that look on his face like, just make sure I get my cut. Make sure I get my cut. He know the rules. So yeah, he know the rules. He should. He's supposed to. So, but yep, it will come to light, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm sorry, but that don't sound right. 50K for a reward. Yeah, that sounds like some different stuff right there. You're right. I mean, you know, he claimed, or they claimed, somebody said that the jewelry was worth 400K, and so they took his watch, I believe he said, his 2 rings, and his chains, and I don't know what all they took from his wife, but if he, you know, I'm sure she had a doozer on her finger as well, and they sure enough got it. Yeah. Who's that? Babyface is written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. Let's see here. Okay, so he called her big. Okay. Oh, he was calling her fat. Yeah, her and Disney. She keep calling them big girls big. They're gonna come for her and Disney. Disney gonna become a snack. Let's see here. David Robinson is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for David Robinson on tonight. Good to see you as well, brother, man. We're just sitting here talking about the current events with Bishop Whitehead out of New York. He was preaching Sunday morning, and 4 guys came in with guns and literally robbed him while he was yet preaching. And so that is unfortunate. But yeah. This is what he had to say, though.
These men, they need to turn themselves in. I forgive you, and I'm praying for you. You know, and I hope that God deliver you from the mindset of who you are at this time. And so hopefully, you know, that is the deal, and he really does, mean it. Hopefully, because here's the deal, man. You've got to
you know, you got to let that stuff go, and sometimes it can be difficult to let go because you begin to rehearse all this, that, and the other, and how it went down, and then I even heard him say, you know, he feels bad that he wasn't able to, you know, do anything to protect the women of the church and so on and so forth. But you know, it is what it is, and yeah, it's scary times that we're living in. So with that said and done, folks, after seeing this, would this cause you to do ministry any different? You know, myself, we do the regular ministry, if you will, for lack of a better term, and then we also do the motorcycle ministry, and it's the motorcycle ministry that sometimes will put us in situations or areas that the normal church ministry wouldn't, you know. But at the end of the day, it's really about how you carry yourself, in my opinion. You know, there's a saying that I live by, and I believe it to be true: real recognizes real. And so whenever I'm anywhere, I just never try to be anything more than what I am, because when you profess or when you act like something that you're not, and then you're found out, trust me, it could go sideways. It can go sideways more ways than one. And so again, the question is, after seeing this, would this cause you to do ministry any different? You know, I think for a long time we've been so, especially the smaller churches, and according to his testimony and the video we hear here, there was about 100 people in attendance. So for us, that's a big church, but 100 people is not a big church for us, because we're not we don't have 100 people at our church. But in perspective, 100 membership church is not a huge church either. However, you've got to understand that it's really some scary times that we are living in, man. And so my point was, what I was getting at was that, you know, as a smaller church, sometimes we are really eager and excited when visitors show up and people come in to the church. I was at the church the other day, and we had one of the ministers was there doing some things, and they left and did not lock the door. Now I was upstairs doing some things up there. As a matter of fact, to be transparent, we've got a barbershop set up upstairs, and I was up there doing some stuff up there. And I came back down, and there was a gentleman that had came into the church. And when I looked at the cameras, I realized that he had been in there for 10 minutes, unsupervised, just, you know, and where all throughout the church he had gone, I don't know. But my point is, you know, I was really, and I know this guy. I don't think him to be a danger, but at the same time, you can't trust people either, you know. And so there's a balance that you have to try to reach, where you remain cautious, but not so cautious that you neglect to offer ministry as necessary, if that makes sense. And so we have got to be careful. We can't be so excited that, ooh, somebody's going to join the church, or that we fail to read the signs, see the signs, and yeah, that part right there. Because people will put on, just like, again, the brother down there in South Carolina, he sat through the whole Bible study, knowing what his intentions were, you know. So David says, we have armed people all through our church. You just have to be ready, strapped up and prayed up. That part right there. And we're in the same situation. You know, we stay strapped up. My God, I'd rather leave my wallet at home than to leave my peace at home. I'm just saying, you know. And so, yeah, we stay strapped up. And again, as I said, throughout the church, so you never know where it's going to come from. And so, and I don't have a problem with that. I was talking to a brother the other day, and I said, nah, you can bring it. Yeah, you can bring it to church. Yeah. I mean, it's not like, I'm not talking open carry. I don't really care too much for open carry, especially in a church setting or whatever, because if someone coming in acting crazy, I don't want them to see who all got what, so they can know who to target. You know, that element of surprise gonna get you, you know. And so let's see here. India says, I think it's wise for a ministry, church, or congregation to implement emergency procedures if this isn't, I think it's supposed to be, isn't already, okay, it's not already done. Okay. If this is not already done. I agree, India. I agree 125%. I agree. And to be honest with you, after the whole, I believe it was after the South Carolina incident where that kid went down there and shot up all those innocent people, that we at Upper Praise began to have some strategic meetings, and so that we could, know what we needed to do in terms of exits and stuff like that. And so, yeah, we need to have those procedures in place. It's nothing like, it's like this. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Looking like John Wayne when people open carry. I like mine hidden too, David. I just do. What I have is my business, and if you get in my business, then you might get some of the business. But again, it's not something that I like to flaunt. I can't stand seeing big old grown men walking through Walmart with these big old pistols. Someone walking around with one on each side. I mean, what? Somebody gonna rob you while you're getting some bloomers for your woman or something? I mean, come on, man, really? I just think that's overkill and not necessary. But yeah. So folks, that's it, man. I mean, I'm sorry that it happened, Bishop Whitehead. What caused it? I don't know. You know better than I do. We're praying for you in that regards, as because it's regardless of what it is, unfortunate. David says our kids practice at school, and in case something happens, we should practice at church just in case. Absolutely. You do fire drills, this, that, and the other. And the Bible says you have not yet, keyword yet. Okay, you have not yet resisted unto blood. And so, in the very near future, who knows what's going to happen and how things may, turn for the worse. And so, while some may poke fun at this situation, let those that have sense extract the wisdom from it. Okay, and maybe that would mean that you would put some things in place, because again, it sucks for something to go down and you just scrambling trying to find out, okay, what do I do? No. Oh, we talked about this. Let's, at least you got, something that you can implement, ask the mannequin man. I'd like to find out what his name is, and I'd be very curious whether or not he ends up being named a co-conspirator or whatever. We got to keep that church and all church. That's right. That part right there is. And again, I opened up this show. We are in no ways trying to poke fun or anything. It's an unfortunate situation, regardless of what caused it to go down. But we ought to keep him, his church, and every church in prayer. Now, I will say this: if you get a chance, go to his website or his Facebook page and watch the whole clip. Again, it's about an hour long. I'm not going to play the whole clip. But one thing that kept irking me, kept bothering me, kept standing out was he kept saying, my church, my ministry. And, and I'm not saying that he meant anything negative by it, but I think it spoke to its character to some degree, and so, yeah, man, it's just unfortunate. Now they are, let's see here. Did I get the flyer up? I thought I had added it on here. Nah, I guess I didn't. But anyway, I did. Let me see where it's at. Is that it there? No, that's not it. Let's see here. Oh, there it is right there. So this is what he's got going on the 13th of next month, I believe. And it's going to take place at Coney Island Beach, August 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. They're going to be baptizing people. So they're asking all to come and get baptized. He's going to be baptizing folks in Jesus' name, he said. And so that's notable. But yeah, so, and he's saying that he's even saying for those brothers to come out. And he said that in the clip that I played, even that he promised you that he said he'll baptize them now. That might be that baptism. Or somebody sent me a clip of a baptism where they held a dude down in the water, held him down for a long time. And it might be one of them kind of baptisms as they show up. Are you going to be in Coney Island that same weekend? Yeah, go show up by all means. Let me know how it works out. Let's see here. Yep, Coney Art Walls, 3050 Stillwell Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. So, and again, we're not making fun. Shame on you if you take someone's bad situation just to poke fun and stuff like that. Okay, well, good deal. She says, I'm planning on it with my dad. My phone is eavesdropping over here. All right, folks, I'm not going to worry your patience, man. I don't want to bore you. We've been on here long enough, but we definitely want to get on here and talk about this situation, man, because it is a unfortunate situation. And so let us keep this brother in our prayers, because at the end of the day, we know he has at least 100 people following him. Okay. And in terms of part of his church. And the point that I'm making is, instead of us pointing fingers and ridiculing and laughing at and making fun of people in situations like this, we've got to take in consideration that they're leading people. They have a following. Okay. And so if we continue to make fun and not pray for them, then it's not just one, but it's 101. Or how many ever other he's got following him. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm the kind of dude that, I believe that prayer works, and so we'll be lifting not only him up, but as my wife said, all churches. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my cuz. Belinda Jones is in the building. She's in the building. Thank you for pressing play, cuz. And those doing the crimes, because it's sad that these brothers would have such a low level of respect, not only for the man of God, I can get that, but for the house of God. Catch him outside, on his way to the Bentley, catch him there. You know what I'm saying? But to go in the house of God and do that kind of stuff, that's just a low level right there. That's just that's just, but so let me ask you this before I let you guys go. What is it, in your opinion, that would cause or allow someone to stoop that low and do such a disrespectful act in the house of God? What can you guys help me make that make sense? Because I just I'm a little I don't know. I need a little help on that. My wife says it makes the whole church body look bad if we talking bad or making fun of the kingdom of God. And you know what, baby, you're right. But the problem is, a lot of the ones that are doing it are actually wolves in sheep's clothing. The ones that are doing it are the ones that he's going to say, depart from me, ye worker of iniquity. I never knew you. The ones that are doing it are the ones that he was talking about in the parable when he said, while you slept. Yeah. The enemy sowed tear among your wheat. And so we have a lot of tear among the wheat. They say, Lord, Lord, but their hearts are far from him. And we've got to understand that, church, and we've got to conduct ourselves accordingly, which again, I'll go back to a scripture that I quoted a little while ago, which is why we must continue to put a difference between clean and unclean. The Bible even talks about those that cause certain issues. You are to mark them. But nowadays we just accept everything and everybody. Oh, God forbid you got a name. God forbid you're a part of a certain family. God forbid you got a little bit of prestige. You can do what you want. And that's what got Eli in trouble, because he let his sons just do what they wanted throughout the church, and it didn't end well for his sons nor him. Why would people respect the building when they don't respect the people that occupy it? Okay. That's a perspective. But I've just always been the kind of dude, man. It's just like I've had people in the church that were rude, disrespectful, out of order, all of that stuff, and I could have responded accordingly, but instead I chose to acknowledge the fact that regardless of what, they still in a particular position. It's just like David when he had the opportunity to kill Saul. He said, how can I put my hand on God's anointed? Even though Saul had already been rejected by God, he was still in the position, you know. And I guess the world doesn't see it like that. Yeah, Shelley says it could be anything that push a person to that point. Yeah, you're right. Just like that brother up in the pulpit, you know, that was a face of a man that was fed up. And a lot of times, you know, now he in the church, but so how much the more when you're out of the church, and you know, and I mean, I got it from a decent source that this brother has been doing some things and acting in a certain way, where, you know, it was kind of coming to him, you know what I'm saying? And every now and then those roosts, what they said, the chickens will come home to roost or something like that. And but my point is, when you're out there doing certain things, because I believe that the world wants to give you a level of respect once you say you are a man of God, you know. But you've almost got to, I hate to say it, but it's almost like you got to prove it and you've got to earn that, you know. They're willing to give it to you, but the minute you stray, you're going to lose that and even more. You're going to lose that and even more. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of guys, some of them preachers, you know, but they spend more time, you know, with beer in their hand and cigars in their mouths and cigarettes and Lord knows what else. And then wonder when they have no impact on a dying world, you know, wonder why they have no power to move mountains, you know. And so we've got to put a difference. And again, when these people are out there doing, they ain't saved. So, I mean, they're going to do that kind of stuff. It's not to mean that they're horrible people, you know, but there's a different calling and there's a different responsibility on the child of God. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to always keep that in mind. And none of us are perfect. And so this is not about, you know, you being better than anybody. I said this the other day, and the T-shirt is coming. If you want one, you can go ahead and let's see here. You can go ahead and hit the email if you want to get this T-shirt. But the T-shirt simply says, I'm not better than anyone, but I'm better than a whole lot of stuff. Yeah. I'm not better than anybody, but I am better than a whole lot of stuff. OK, I'm not better than you, but certain stuff. Now, I ain't going to put up with that because I'm better than that. You know, and so sometimes when you know that you're better than stuff, people want to label you as arrogant or this, that, or the other. The devil is a lie. You can call me what you want to call me. I bet you I won't put up with no mess. I bet you that. But anyway, it could be anything that push a person to that point. And that there, ladies and gentlemen, is real talk for you. It's real talk. And so that's why we must be extremely careful. The Bible says it this way. The Bible says grievous words stir up anger, but a soft answer turneth away wrath. What am I saying? What I'm saying is we have the power, the ability, the right, the mandate, the access. Come on, somebody, to turn things for the better. If we just operate in a little bit of love and exercise a little bit of wisdom. You don't have to win every argument to win the individual. Sometimes you just bowing out gracefully will speak more volumes than you raising your voice to win the argument. A soft answer turneth away wrath. My mama used to tell me it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. You know, let's see here. The devil is using whomever is not in place where God can use them. Some people are lazy and use God as their crutch to put the followers under them to collect money. Okay, that part right there. I don't think what happened to that man in God's house was right. I don't either. I don't think it was right. You know, now he could be, you know, I don't know what his stance is on and how he collects offering and stuff like that. He could be shicey. He could be shady. I don't know, you know. But even if he was, you know, to come into the house of God like that, you know, two wrongs don't make a right. Yeah, two wrongs don't make a right. When you do wrong, God gonna get you. He gonna get you, you know. And so I've learned sometimes you just got to take your mouth and your hands off of people and situations and just let God do it, because he said, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. I'm not better than you, but I'm better than a lot of stuff. Hashtag retro philosophy. That's the shirt right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's it right there, coming to a mailbox near you, and you can get it along with some other merch that we have. You can get that as well. Let's see here. We have our Kingdom Alignment t-shirts. Boom. How about that, y'all? Let's see, where's it at? Okay, how about now? There we go. I'm working it, y'all. I'm working it. Okay, I'm working it. So this here is our Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry t-shirt. You can get yours. All you have to do is just email us or call us at the number that's scrolling at the top of your screen, and we can get that in the mailbox to you. And if you're in the area, hey, we'll hand deliver it. But the proceeds will go to benefit the Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry, which will enable us to do more ministry and more effectively. So make sure you make your order so you can get your t-shirt. All right. I'll share this one with you as well. This is one that we gifted to a viewer because she took a stand in the neighborhood, and hashtag it still takes a village to raise a child. This is a movement that's going to be coming to a neighborhood near you. So just keep your eyes peeled and your ears open for that one. OK, hashtag it still takes a village to raise a child. I also want to let you know that we are doing a raffle, okay, for a t-shirt. We're going to raffle it off on Thursday, okay? This coming Thursday, we will do the raffle, and it will be a Retro Philosophy t-shirt, okay? Not a Kingdom Alignment, but a Retro Philosophy t-shirt. Let's see here. Bada boom, boom, bang. It's Kingdom Alignment. I want this one right here. There we go. There we go. All right. So we'll be raffling off a Retro Philosophy hashtag Press Play t-shirt. All you have to do if you would like to have an opportunity of winning one is Cash App $1 $1, one digga dollar, you know, just 1 peso. I don't know. I'm just, you know, and all you have to do is Cash App it to $ Retro Philosophy, and the memo sign, just let us know the size that you want. And we will do the drawing. The drawing come Thursday night at around 8-9 o'clock. We'll do the drawing. Okay, so you could potentially win you a t-shirt for just $1. Okay, and if you don't, guess what? $1 ain't gonna hurt you. It helped a good cause. All right. As you can tell here on the Retro Philosophy Show, we are continually and constantly trying to upgrade and bring a better quality show to you. And so the proceeds will go for the Retro Philosophy Show so that we can continue to do the doggone thing. All right. We've already got some that have come in, and again, we will do the drawing on this coming Thursday when we do our evening show. All right. So make sure you tune in, log in, and hit up the Cash App. It's just $1, just $1. Okay, you won't miss it. Just 4 quarters. You know, just 4 quarters. What is it? You know, 20 nickels. You know, 10 dimes. You know, just go on and do it and help your boy out a little bit. I promise you, I'm not going to take that dollar and go buy a Bentley or a $400,000 necklace. I promise you I won't. Now, I might go buy some equipment. I ain't going to lie to you. I might buy some equipment so that we can, you know, bring the show to you in such a way that it's, that part right there. That we will do, okay? But yeah, so go ahead and do that, okay? And if you say, well, you know what, I just want to be a blessing to the show, then hey, I don't want a discounted shirt. Hey, you can cash up us $25. Let us know what size and color you want, and we'll get it to you, man. We'll get it to you. All right. All right, guys, we appreciate you tuning in, and thank you for your comments and your opinions and insight on the matter. And be safe out there, man, because trust me, man, it's getting crazy. It ain't no getting. It's been crazy. And it's going to get even more crazier, okay? So be ye ready. Be ready, because you never know. All right, let's see here. Let me see what else I got to get up here. I want to do a couple shout-outs. Let's see here. What are we going to do? We're going to get rid of that. I want to give a shout-out to Pastor Nate Session. He's also the president of Light Riders down there in California. God bless you, sir. How are you doing? He was with us the other day, and we had a great time. He really dropped some knowledge and cut up a little bit and all that good stuff. We had a really good show hanging out with Pastor Nate. Okay. Again, we want to make sure you know to go over to YouTube, like and subscribe. All right. And also tell a friend. All right. Like and subscribe and also tell a friend. We would certainly appreciate that. OK. Let's see here what else we got to share with you. Bada boom, bang, bang. I want to get to some of my sponsors. OK, that's what I want to get to real quick here. We had a great show the other day. We had the one and only Dr. Jay Slay in the building. And so we want to give a shout out to her, DJS Beauty. All right. You can check her out and she will you can go to her website, www.djsbeauty.com, and you can get a copy of her book. She entitles this The Art and Science of Makeup. All right. So make sure you go over there and check out her website, man. She does the makeup and everything. And she's doing big things over there, man. So make sure you go and holler at my little cousin. She's got the men's line as well for the beard, the shampoo and the conditioner and the oils. Oh, my goodness, it smells so good, man. I'm telling you, man, you got to check it out, man. And when you go to the website and you place your order, use code Lady Shelly. All right, it'll get you 10% discount, so to save you a little bit of money there. So make sure you go on over there real quick. As a matter of fact, do it as soon as the live ends. Okay, go over there and check her out, and you'll see her on Facebook, man. She's always going live, and she got all her team members, man. They doing it, man. You get over there and get you some makeup for your woman and all that good stuff. I want to inform you that on Sundays we are starting a new segment. We haven't even given it a name yet, okay? But that Sunday segment will involve preachers. We'll be hearing from different preachers and pastors, hearing how it was for them when they got started, hearing about their ups and downs and their different experiences and things of that nature. You've got to understand that preachers are people too, okay? And I think that this is important because not only do we need to know that they are people, but they need to know that they are people. In other words, sometimes I'll put it to you this way. My uncle, who was a bishop, he's gone on to be with the Lord. He told my mother years ago, he said, don't ever be so heavenly bound that you're no earthly good. Yeah, don't ever be so heavenly bound that you're no earthly good. Okay. And so sometimes you got to take your clergy collar off. Come on, somebody, and just kick it with the fellas. Just stay real. Stay rooted and just, don't. We shouldn't be talking about, basketball and you talking about thus thou and thither, saith the Lord. The basketball is going to goeth into the goal. And come on, bro, man. And so, let's make average cool again. Let's make average acceptable again. Let's just sit down and reason. Come, let us reason together. And so you can catch us on Sundays. We'll have different pastors and preachers involved in this segment. And if you are a pastor, preacher, or something, and you would like to be a part, holla at your boys. Number scrolling at the top of the screen, 980-222-4492. We had Pastor Edie and Pastor Dr. Kelvin Jones with us on this past Sunday. And when I tell you we had a great time, we had a great time. With that said and done, we want to give a shout out to Pastor Kelvin Jones down there in Alabama, Hope Hill Cathedral, him and his beautiful first lady and his only lady, Rashina Jones. Beautiful family, and they're doing great things down there in Montgomery, Alabama. So make sure you check them out. You can catch them live on Facebook and other platform medias as well. So, yeah. Hope Hill Cathedral. May God continue to bless you guys down there, Pastor and First Lady Jones. All right. And then last but not least, we want to give a shout out to Victory Point, my folks over there at Victory Point. Pastor David and First Lady India Edie, and can't forget little David and Dawson as well. They got a strong team over there, and so make sure you check them out. Sundays at 3 p.m. and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Victory Point. And so on last night, we were talking about the, thank you. I see the cash apps coming in for the raffle. I see the size there. Amen. Instructions were followed, and you are now entered into the runnings for the t-shirt raffle. So make sure you join in on next Thursday to find out if you were indeed the winner. But Victory Point, they're located in Springfield, Massachusetts on Island Pond Road, and you can find them on Facebook, YouTube, and all other. And you know what? You can even find them on TikTok. What do they got? They got the VIP, I think it is, with the youth, and they're doing different little victory point messages. It's really good, man. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for them if you're in the Springfield area looking for a place to worship. Victory Point is your place. And so on Sunday, as I said, we had Pastor Edie with us as well as Pastor Jones, and they were sharing about the name and how they came about it. Both interesting stories, man, and it shed a little bit more light on the on the movement that God is doing there. And so we thank you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of your way. You guys continue to hit up that Cash App. We're gonna add you to the list. And again, when you send in your Cash App, and all it takes is just $1, and when you send that in, just put your T-shirt size. That way, if you are the winner, we can make sure we get you the right size. Okay. That's going to do it for me, guys. I do appreciate you. May God continue to bless you. Heaven smile on you. If you're in the Mooresville area looking for a place to worship, then Upper Praise Ministries is your place of worship. We're located at 442 Westmore Avenue in the very fine town of Mooresville, North Kakalaki. Service starts every Sunday at 11 a.m. Come and worship with us. And then after service at 1:30, we start the community food giveaway. All you got to do is pull up and let us know how many boxes of groceries you need, and we will load your vehicle up with those groceries. That is something that we do in conjunction with Hands Helping Hands Ministries. Guys, that's it for me, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys on the next go round, okay? It's your boy Retro, and I'm out.